Welcome to the Model Rail Replacement Podcast, helping you get to your onward journey. A friendly service that helps you get from A to B, or probably nowhere at all.
Hello and welcome to the Model Rail Replacement Podcast. I'm your host, James, award-winning host, James, and with me is co-host and producer, Sam. Oh, I said his name. I'm that important, I get to say his name now. Hello.
Hello, James. How are you?
I won an award. Did I mention that?
I don't think you have. You've actually, if anything, the last few weeks you've just been really quiet. I was a little bit concerned and worried about you.
Well, I like to keep my cards close to my chest. Yes. How are you, Sam? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I may not have won an award, but I finally passed my electrical exam, which for anybody who has seen me be a little bit erratic with how I've been here in the past few months, that might explain why. But congratulations, mate. I'm really proud of you.
Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, I got to meet Pete Waterman, and he even remembered Lenny.
Yeah.
Because Lenny came up with me, and I said, "Oh, you met Lenny before?" He goes, "Yeah, I remember." And I was like, "There we are." So it was very, very. It was a good old weekend out at the NEC. I know there was a few grumblings last year when obviously World of Rails took over, and it wasn't the same as it was before because you know many people in the hobby don't like change. But I think this year, from what the traders were telling me, from what looked like the footfall, it looked like it was, and being there both weekend, it seemed a brilliant show. It was really busy. I still did get a chance to see all the layouts, even though I went over both days. So yeah, but it was great. I thought it was a really great show, and obviously I was there to collect my runner-up certificate for the Rail 200. That's what's been going on.
Oh, well. It looked like you had a really good time anyway.
Yeah, it was good. There was lots of people to catch up with. Obviously, Tom was there. I bumped into someone I'd met on a union course, and it's Bruce who's listening. He says he always listens. So hello, Bruce. And yeah, so I sort of hung out with Bruce for the afternoon. We went around and looked at a few layouts on that, and I managed to pick up. I managed to find two locos I was looking for. I was so very, very happy. So I managed to find one more terrier. I managed to pick up Merton this time.
Oh, okay.
And then also the SECRC class in the livery with the gold dome, which seems like hen's teeth to find. Someone had it on a stall at a very reasonable price. And so I was like, well, I already passed up the opportunity once when Tony had it on his stall back at Model World Live in April, and I stupidly went, I won't buy that today. And I don't know what logic I was following there. I went, I'm definitely buying this today. I'm not letting this pass again. So, yeah, it was all good. I saw a few others. St. Saviour's, Paul, bumped into him. He was looking at me and he was looking back, and I was like, I really recognise this guy, and I can't think why I recognise this guy. And he says to Saviour's, of course it is. So yeah, Laurie, obviously, I went and said hello to Laurie. Laurie was there. Oh, that's giving it away, really. Laurie hasn't been on the podcast yet. I've said too much, I suppose.
Oh no.
Christmas and
Abort,
all that. No,
abort mission.
I've said too much. But yeah, it was great. I'm sure I saw other people and said hello to other people. There was lots of people I said hello to, and hello again. There was a chap in a Merp top. I said hello to him. I said I liked his top, and he looked at me like he had no idea who the hell I was. So, if you're listening, it was me.
When you told me the story, it was one of the first times in a very long time that I've genuinely laughed out loud at how funny that is. Because it's not even like it's a funny sort of turn of phrase like I do my own shunts or whatever. Like I joked with Tom about that everyone seems to own that t-shirt. And it is literally the Model Rail Replacement Podcast hoodie. So the fact that they were either that or they were genuinely stunned by your presence.
Possibly. Maybe it was just my own arrogance of thinking how famous I actually was and to what I actually am.
I mean,
Who knows?
I'm gonna say if someone's wearing a t-shirt with your quotation marks brand on it, I feel like you can kind of have that.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you that one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Lyndon, I bumped into Lyndon. Southwest Max was there. Mark, driver that you
It's
know.
it's worth Holt.
That's him. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They were all there. There was lots of people there. So many people, can't keep up. But yeah, it was great. Very busy weekend. But yeah, it's all good. And as I say, the Rail 200 layouts there were incredible. Everyone that turned up, they were just brilliant stuff. That Kraken layout was amazing. Like the polymer clay and like all the suckers on, they're brilliant. So yeah, it was good. How about you? I've been receiving lots of videos of TT trains running around.
Yeah, you have. So in my usual manner, I forgot to send my Class 50s off to TMC, which is my fault, not theirs. And I had like 5 minutes where I just suddenly had this weird clarity moment, and I went, "Do you know what? I'm going to have a look at the bogies on and like see if if there's something wrong with those because I'd looked at all the like the circuit boards and all the bits going to circuit boards. I couldn't see anything, and I hadn't taken any of them apart. So I eventually took one of my 50s apart, and it turns out there was one little wire that had come off one of the bogies. Soldered it back on, worked absolutely fine. So I managed to fix one of my 50s, and then I went, "Oh, I've done one. I'm going to see if I can fix the other one." Perfectly fine, absolutely. It was the HM7000 chip that was in there. Whatever was going on with that chip, it was just short circuiting the whole loco. I picked up a Lay's DCC Next 18 decoder when we were at Getz, and it worked straight away. Worked absolutely fine. So I had one that was a wiring issue, managed to fix that, and one where I switched the decoder because obviously I don't have a large amount of Next 18 decoders from previous trains like I would with like 21 pins and stuff like that. And I was so happy. I was just like, finally, I'm back up to having enough trains to run on the layout. Uh, so I've been furiously, and I think that's given me this little bit of mojo boost. That and like obviously I put a lot of time into revision previously, and it suddenly gave me like, right, okay, I've now got some time. I can now start working on the layout. So I'm now pretty much running my HST, two Class 50s, one with a rake of Mark 2s, one with a rake of Mark 1s, and then a Class 66 with a lot of oil wagons as well. Hopefully, within the next month or so, I'll be able to switch the Class 66 over for a 37 or another 50. We'll see.
We shall see, indeed, because yes, I've been told they are not too far away, as are many things, because model manufacturers seem to get everything shipped in just before Christmas. Guys, it's really not a good time of year to be bringing these models in. There's Black Friday to contend with. Obviously, Christmas is coming up. There's lots of presents to buy, and then all the pre-orders arrive at the same time. It's too much for the heart to take. Okay, can we please try and reorganize this?
You and I both know it's because they're trying to smash everything out before Chinese New Year, though, right?
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, just as long as we're on the same page. But yeah, I was just like, this is all down to Chinese
Well, I
New Year.
assume so. I don't know how long the boat takes to come round from China.
Well, let me
They
rephrase
may
that.
have had this all sorted back in April. Lord, I don't sail boats. I don't know.
I'm not a boatman. Um, so yeah, so I've actually been doing a fair bit of hobby, which is quite nice to say. So yeah, I've been doing bits like that.
Very cool.
Whilst we're on the subject of the NEC, there is something that we knew about, but for some reason you and I managed to both forget it. Even more so, it's weird because it's about us, and it's an item that is all about us.
Oh yeah, shall we mention it in the news then?
Yeah.
News. I swear, because I told him that we did talk about it. I swear. I was like, yeah, we recorded a bit about that. And apparently I completely imagined this. I mean, it could be my ADHD drugs I've just started taking. Apparently I can hallucinate on them. So who knows? Maybe it was
I
that.
I think it's that you remembered us recording the advert for Tom,
That
and
could be it.
I think that's because when I saw you because you and Tom are the night owls, and then I'm the person who gets up early in the morning. So I got up, saw the messages, and I was like, he's lying. We never recorded anything about it, so I had to break the news to Tom. Um,
Or you removed it from the podcast just to make me look like a liar.
I mean, I could do that as well.
But don't worry, Sam. I'll just put a video up on the internet and say how you've wronged me. It's what we do nowadays, isn't it?
Apparently so.
Hmm. There we are. So, what have we got then? It's a Father Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Father Christmas that looks like Tom but with a white beard.
Yeah. Or as I said to him, I don't prefer this version of Bob Symes. Your other two are better.
That is good. I like that.
No, it's well, he has got a Father Christmas. If you want a Father Christmas figure, then do hop over to Buggles Kelly Station. But also, he gave us a radio station.
He did indeed. I'm very, very happy about that. I mean, have you ordered one?
Not yet, because when he sent us the images, obviously, because we always get to preview it, what he was working on, I was like, oh, it looks very Thunderbirds. And then I was like, oh, I can make a Thunderbirds scene with this because I've been planning to do that because I found all my old Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet toys and they just sort of sat around. And I was like, I could like build little dioramas. So, and I was like, if I get that, I could do the Thunderbird scene. Um, Also turns out it looks like a particular radio station from a Netflix series that, as of date of recording, which is a Thursday, so people can piece this together, looks like a radio station from a Netflix TV series that's just started season 5. Just saying. I'm sort of not saying what it is, just in case. They go, "Hey, you've copied us," but I don't think you have copyright on a radio station. You've just used a building that already existed, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, not only did he do a fantastic job and he said, oh, I wanted to release it, but he did an absolutely outstanding job on the advert.
Yes, the South Park style advert of our grotty. It's the gunshots keep going off in the background that got me.
I think it's the fact that when it panned out and how short I was and how tall you were, I was howling because he effectively, to those of you at home, Tom said, "Oh, here's your lines. Can you record it?" We recorded it, and then we sort of forgot about it, and then he released it, and I was like, "I think this is the best work you've ever done." If you
Yeah.
haven't seen it already, Facebook and Instagram, go over to Buggles Kelly Station. Tom has done a little advert for the release of the MERP radio station, which you should go and buy, by the way.
Yes, the South Park Flatshare MERP TV series will be along shortly. So
I did see that somebody said that he does need to animate every episode of the podcast now like that. And he was like, you'll be here a while.
yes, I can imagine so. So yeah, there we are. That was Tom's releases over the weekend at the NEC. And if you do want them, then head over to Buggles Kelly Station, and you can find them available there. Also announced there was two things. The Oxford Rail have they originally announced this once, then it got cancelled, but they're bringing it back. They're going to be bringing the Shildon breakdown crane. I'm not sure what tonnage it is off the top of my head. However, it's a very nice little sort of Victorian-esque era 2 style breakdown crane with a match truck, and they're bringing that back. As I say, it was a cancelled project. Decided to restart it up again. I think, if I recall, it was a very reasonable price, £37.50 as well. In fact, here it is, right here. Oh, I was way off. £84.95. Don't know where I got that number from.
Yeah, that's a big
But yeah,
difference.
it's the 15-ton standard crane of Cohen's Sheldon. So I said Sheldon. I was right when I was talking off air, wasn't I? Yeah, fully posable mechanism, match truck with it. I think it's coming in just a black livery by the looks of things. But yeah, it looks very cool. And so that will be from Oxford Rail. Also, there was an announcement from Hellion. Did you see this?
No, I did not. What have we got?
So we have the Class 42 warship being presented as the 200.021 Windhund in DB red, as it was painted in the 1980s for the preservation era. So yeah, it's an English warship, but painted like a German warship, obviously as a nod to the original locomotives that were built by Deutsche Bahn. So yeah, these were announced over the weekend at the NEC. They're coming in with a retail price of £219, but I'm sure you can find a discount somewhere. The DC Ready one, and then DCC Sound is coming in at £319, recommended retail price. But again, if you look around, I'm pretty sure you can find a discount. So yeah, that's very cool. So yeah, a couple of announcements from over the weekend. We may have missed other stuff. I'm not sure, but
I
that's
don't think we have. Or if we have, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry. We're very, very sorry. If you sent us press releases, then we wouldn't miss these things. Just saying, we do have an email. It's modelrailrp@outlook.com. There, right. Charity. We've done very well with a charity, have we not?
Uh, yeah, to the point where today you and I were texting each other, or was it yesterday? I can't remember. And we hit £2,500, and I think both of us are now at this point where we're like genuinely shocked that we've got to the point that we have. So obviously, the big thank you goes to all of you lovely lot who are sitting at home who have donated to this, whether it's because you're doing it for the great cause or for the raffle, it doesn't matter. You're still helping out.
Yes, exactly. And you know, in this turbulent time of the hobby, in which people just seem to be arguing with each other all the time and all that, it is nice to see that there is still a community spirit out there where people do want to help each other out. And so we appreciate everybody who has donated towards Cash for Kids and everyone who has donated prizes for the raffle. Honestly, we have been overwhelmed with the amount of prizes that we've been given. Walking around the NEC, I was still being offered stuff from various people, so we have extra prizes to be giving away. Justin, very kindly from JS Models, gave us a warehouse kit. This is a double O gauge warehouse kit. It's worth £90. It's a beautiful kit as well, and he only did it because I said, I'm really am thinking about buying one of them because I really, really like it, and I think I've got a project in mind, but I need to make sure it fits. And he went, "Well, here you go then. Now you can have a better think about it." Yeah, we got that. Cavalex very kindly donated a Class 60 to us this week in GBRF livery.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Steve, the British Railroader, our friend Steve, also sometimes hosts on here. He has now sent through free painted figures of Sam, Tom, and himself. He's a shameless egotist. In double O gauge, so they'll be in the prize pot. We've had a shed from L&R Models. You'll know him off the telly. He's been on telly with Sarah Cox, so very thankful for that. I can never pronounce it, and I met him at the weekend. And also, I forgot to
Come,
mention that I bumped into him. CMU
Kim,
model, Kim,
Cymru Wales.
Cymru Rails. I'm so sorry.
Cymru Rails.
Henry Rouse has given us some 3D printed waggers. He was lovely, absolutely lovely to talk to. And I've said I want to get him on the podcast. He was fantastic to talk to. So, yeah, thank you very much for that. I am trying to think off the top of my head. I know Sawyer Models are sending us something in the post. It's on the way. It just hasn't arrived yet. You picked up a Marks and Spencer Hornby Evening Star train set from Ron Lines.
I did indeed. And they did also say thank you for all the shout outs in the second-hand episode as well. So they were listening in the shop and they went, "Oh, that's us." So they told me to say thank you.
So yeah, so there we go. So yeah, with all the previous stuff we've had from Revolution Trains, the Curacao, Gauge Master, and we've still got bits to come from Model U. I know Tom is sending something in the post as well from Buggles Kelly because I was supposed to pick that up at the weekend, and then he texted me and went, "Oh, you idiot, you didn't pick it up." But in fairness, he told me he'd run out of stock, so he had a good weekend.
I think you're still expecting some stuff from Neil from Little Layouts as well. We've got MLC units. We've got a class, I want to say 47, maybe a 37 that he's donating to the raffle as well. In fact, one of today's guests and a bunch of the NRA, the Northern Republic Association, they have donated a brand new Hornby steam loco as well, which arrived today. To go into the prize pot as well. So there's a lot of stuff.
Yes, amazingly a lot. In fact, it would probably have been better we just sell all this stuff off and we'd probably raise more money than that. So all I can ask you is, obviously, we still feel the prize pot is bigger than the money raised, and you've done a great job so far. But why not encourage friends and family to also donate towards it? Because then it could be one of your Christmas presents, £5 donation to Cash for Kids, and it could win you some amazing models. So it's just an idea I'm putting out there. Try and spread the love, please, because you've done so well, and we are so grateful. And if you haven't already got in, and you're waiting for payday just before Christmas or whatever, or the end of this month, and it's just coming around the corner, now's your chance to enter because you've only got until the 14th of December when the raffle will close. So you need to go to Just Giving, and if you search MERP, you will instantly find us there. Donate £5, and that will get you 1 entry into the draw. Donate £10, that will get you 2 entry. For every £5 thereon, you'll get another entry into the draw. The draw will then take place after the 14th, and the winners will be announced on our Christmas special episode on the 22nd of December. We can only offer the prizes out to UK residents. If you are outside the UK and you want to donate, that is fabulous, and thank you very much. But obviously we cannot put you in the draw. And that's pretty much covers it, I think.
I do have an off the cuff request for you on this one. So obviously this episode comes out on the 1st of December. When are we telling people what the Christmas special is?
When are we telling them? Oh, that's a good point. How much of it have you actually put together? Okay. I think we need at least the second act recorded. Just in case we need a backup plan.
Okay.
And we have to go back to the Christmas special quiz.
Oh no, anything but that.
But yeah, you've made a valid point there, and I need to text someone and send them their lines. I think we've dropped enough hints over the last few weeks for people to try and piece together what we're doing. If they listen carefully, they'll know what we're doing. If you haven't been listening carefully, then why are you listening to a podcast? There. You've made me mad. I'm going to make a video about it. Shall we? Not really. I love you all. We've got a guest, and they're from the north. I've never heard of it. You?
No, I mean, that must be the Watford Gap, right?
The north. Is that like when you go all the way around the world and you're on the Isle of Wight, and no, you're on Jersey, and then the Isle of Wight's the north? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's it.
Yeah,
I think we're interviewing someone from the Isle of Wight.
We've got someone from the Isle of Wight. It's Steve at Finnborough N. There we are. We're going to take a short break. It was a dark, rainy day in Porthbury, and Lord Chester stood in his porch with sorrow in his heart.
I can't believe he's gone, Wilson.
Yes, sir. It is all very sad. I have the car waiting. And, sir, you are going to leave it at home, as promised.
Yes, I'll leave it here.
Whilst in the car?
What will I do now, Wilson?
Maybe you'll have to learn to do it yourself.
I blame that bloke who kept badgering him about a poor job.
Right, sir. Well, here we are.
Wilson opens an umbrella and Lord Chester steps out of the car and surveys the funeral.
Oh, look, they're all here to pay their respects. There's John. He always loved his work. And there's my cousin, Lord Chester the First.
Chester, it's so good to see you. Such a terrible, terrible day.
It is. Oh, look, here comes the hearse.
There he is. I can't quite believe he's gone.
I know, but at least we'll have something to remember him by.
Sir, you promised not to bring that. Don't get it out here. Not at a funeral.
No, I'm getting it out. It's what he would have wanted.
Blimey, he's got his dirty shunner out.
I say, chaps, watch it. You're losing the coffin.
The coffin is dropped with a mighty crash. Sam's body falls out of the coffin. Oh, blimey! Quick, lads, help me get him back in.
Look at that.
So fresh. So clean.
Like he's straight out of the box.
And now, he's all dirty.
Oh, even in death he's still at it. A god amongst men.
Emperor's Path is now closed for business.
What should I do now, Wilson?
You could always treat yourself to A little loud.
Sam was little.
Right then, Sam. There's something I found out. Just north of Birmingham is a place they call the North, which was a surprise to me, I must say. And I've managed to find someone from the North. Welcome to the show, Stephen. How are you doing? This is Steve
Hello, lads.
from Finsborough, unknown on Finsborough Engage on Instagram. How are you?
Not bad, thanks to you.
Not too bad. That's an interesting
Good.
accent you've got there.
It's this
I
little
was
thing
wondering
that
how
popped
long
up the
it-
country, James. It's not heard on this podcast before, is it?
No, it's never been.
Bit of a
Well, we
rarity.
tried last week, but we
I
got
thought we-
many letters of complaint.
I thought we did a really good version of a rendition of Biker Grove, personally. But I mean, everyone to their own.
I mean, the resident Geordie listener was very disappointed.
Cameron doesn't count.
I think the other two were more offended that you said that they were from this neck of the woods as well, because
What,
Josh
the
from
North?
East Glass, well, yeah, but Josh from East Glasson and John from Bentham Branch Line, they're both from the other side. They're both Northwesterners. So
I mean, to
Well,
clarify,
there's a northwest and a northeast.
you got
hell's
double
going
whammy in
on?
that one, James.
I'm not putting up with this. I'm sorry. That's it. Cut the line. I mean, to be fair, whenever anyone tries to do an impression of me, there are two versions of it. There is Dick Van Dyke, and then there's some weird gentleman. So nobody can really pretend that they can do it when it's on the other foot. All right. Anyway, we're
I wouldn't
not.
even attempt it.
Anyway, I'll shut up. This is the most I've spoken in any interview in the last 6 months.
It is. So Steve, for the listeners then, tell us about yourself and your model railways and how you got there.
Yes, so I'm Steve. My layout's called Finnborough without the S, James.
It's an invisible S, like a silent one.
Basically, it all sort of started, I suppose, much as all people our sort of age, at 30s sort of thing. Thomas the Tank Engine, that sort of influence when you're a kid. I also had a fairly good helping from my granddad. He was an Engage modeler, so he's had Engage as long as I could ever known. He got my dad into it, and naturally my dad built a little layout for me and everything when I was a kid. Just a little bar bed under the bed and stuff. Got to the point where just running trains around it. No, never had any scenery or anything. Just running trains, playing trains as you do a bit when you're younger, And then started getting old. Well, I say getting old. 16, discovered other things. Started driving, going out. All that sort of stuff you do. And at that point, I actually got a job as an apprentice. So I started earning a bit of money. The N-gauge got put away in a cupboard, and I moved up to 5-inch gauge, which was a bit of a jump.
It's a bit of a jump, isn't it?
Yeah. So we used to go down to York Model Engineers Club and run that down there. I actually sold me 5-inch gauge loco. It was a rail bus, prototype rail bus. Sold that just before I moved house earlier this year. So that's gone now. But I also at the same time was doing SM32, the 16mm garden railway scale. So I've got that still. I haven't actually sold that. So I've actually got a live steam loco sat somewhere in the garage that maybe one day I might see the light of day again. But again, that's been all packed away for probably about 10, 15 years now. Then just post-COVID, sorry. Me and the wife, we had a baby. But before the baby came, I decided that it was probably now or never to start building a layout. Because if I didn't do it then, once the baby came, I didn't know how much time I'd have and everything. So thought all the stock that I still had all my Engage stock, still had a fair bit of track. Thought, let's build it out, build one in the garage. Then Finnborough was born. So pretty much the rest is pretty much history, I suppose, as they say. Obviously, if you follow us on socials and that, you'll know that we moved house earlier this year, just back in July. So version 1 is now scrapped. It still exists. It's sat in my uncle's house because I haven't got space for it here. I haven't got space for 2 layouts anyway. So I'm slowly robbing that of parts, but slowly is the word. So yeah, on with building V2 now, and I've got a loop down, which is nice. I can run big long trains again after probably what we're now November, probably about 6 months nearly. I've not been able to run much. So yeah, it's nice to be able to play trains again. Missed it.
Glorious. Always is nice to play trains again, isn't it? Yeah,
It is. It
to
is.
get a loop of track down and get something running.
It's so distracting though. So distracting.
Can I just clarify, when you said Finnborough was born, you do mean the layout, you didn't also name your child Finnborough, right?
No. So the layout name was actually from the dog we had at the time. He was called Finn. And the Borough is a sort of a bit of a northern, it's like Middlesbrough, Scarborough, that sort of vibe. So put 2 and 2 together.
Get
Made
out onto the
Finnborough.
map.
Well, I could because technically, I say technically, obviously it's not a real place, but I've mentally sort of based it somewhere in between Northallerton and Darlington on the East Coast
Okay.
Main Line. So I'd like to say that influences what stock I run, but it doesn't. And I've got a Chiltern 168 somewhere, so that definitely doesn't belong up here.
Well, I've seen them.
Yeah.
I've seen Chiltern branded units at Doncaster every now and again when I've been up there. So
It's quite a long way down that though, James. I know you might not come up here much, but it's quite a long way down.
I just,
it's all
I
the
just
north,
had,
is it not?
I just had heart palpitations at the idea that York is a long way down, when for me it is a very long way up.
Well, York's about an hour from where we are in Teesside, so Doncaster's 2.5, I think.
Yeah, it must be
something like
honest. Yeah,
So it's a tiny track.
it's a big, vast land, that north. But that's cool. So we'll move on to our usual questions then, the usual firing ones that we like to start off with. And I mean, Sam will insist on one answer, but depends what you want to give us.
Whoa.
Are you steam, diesel, or electric?
So, judging by what I model at the moment, which is modern image, I would think most people probably expect me to answer diesel or electric, but it's actually steam. It's got to be. There's just something about it. It's that. I mean, I think a lot of it stems back to when I was a kid. Luckily, we live about 20 minutes away from Darlington, which is where Tornado was built. Obviously the new build A1. And I remember as a kid going to see Tornado. And if anyone's seen photos of the P2 they're making at the moment, I remember seeing Tornado in that sort of state. It was just like frames, some wheels, and a bare cab. And I remember looking at it as a kid thinking, what's that going to look like? You know, it was weird. I'd never seen a steam local like it. So that was always sort of there. And then we used to have a lot of holidays with grandparents. We'd go away in a caravan, and there was nearly always a preserved railway involved somewhere. So it was always a steam train ride. And my granddad absolutely loved Sir Nigel Gresley. Was his top tier loco. Any A4s really, as Sam's well aware. But yeah, I think a lot of it stems from that, and it's just that it's good seeing a diesel. I love seeing a diesel. A decent class 37 or something, fantastic. Even the 225s, the electrics, brilliant. But I went to see Sir Nigel Grizzly up at the North Yorks Moors a few months ago, and watching it come past and the ground shaking, you can feel it. It's the noise, it's everything. It's absolutely class. It's got to be steam. Got to be steam.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's definitely got that draw, hasn't it? That,
Yeah,
like you say, the A4s. I know Sam's not a fan of them, but they are beautiful machines.
yeah. I think it's just the fact that it's such old technology, but it's still so like look at how well it still works.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
Still.
Yeah, it's that. It's boiling water to say
Oh, yeah.
that. It's just,
Yeah.
people call them kettles, and yeah, they are kettles, but
Oh, yeah.
you've managed to move it. In the case of the A4 up to 126 miles per hour. with boiling water. It's just
It is.
mad.
It's proper impressive stuff, and
Yeah.
it's just and the fact that some of them locals now, I mean, I can't remember how old some of them are, but I mean, Flying Scotsman's over 100, isn't it? So the fact that I mean, yes, it's a bit like Trigger's Broom, but it's still there. They're still working. They're still doing what they were made to do to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So
But that's that. Yeah,
fantastic.
I think, yeah, that's what's impressive about them, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
the age of the
absolutely,
machines and the fact that they are, you can still steam them. So, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. We'll chalk one up for Steam then on the old leaderboard, and we'll move on to our next question. Favorite scale?
5 inch gauge? No, it's not really. It's gonna be N. It has to be N gauge. It's all I've ever known. You can just do everything with it, and a lot of people say, "Oh, it's fiddly. It's too small. It's this. It's that." It can be, but my daughter's 3 year old. I can give her an old Farish Pool Lever Loco or an old Minitrix Loco, and she can still play with it. It's only as delicate as you sort of want it to be to a certain extent. And it's the fact that you can just get so much in. Like, I mean, my layout at the moment, it's 12 foot long. It's 2 foot 6 wide. In double O gauge, you wouldn't get a loop in, I don't think, would you? But in N gauge, I've got a three track sort of mainline style setting on one board.
You get 009 on it.
And I knew it was coming. I think the thing is there's been a long running joke, and obviously I think it is a bit of a crying shame that it's taken this long for us to get someone whose predominant scale that they're modeling is N gauge, and I think the only person previously who had chalked up that their scale that they'd like to model in was Oliver from Laserjet. So it does feel like a crying shame, and we've said it before. I know James has modelled in N gauge, and for me, I always think, because you and I have had a lot of banter about this in the past, the thing of N gauge for me is it's not the scale for me, but I completely
Yeah,
understand the why you would model in N gauge,
yeah,
and
yeah,
especially
yeah.
in modern day situations. I saw an N gauge sort of Southampton Docks style layout with the container flats and the 66s and stuff going around, and that's phenomenal to see that sort of thing. So yeah, I get it. The what you can fit in your space is incredible.
It is. That's the draw of it, and the other thing as well is that the N gauge has come a long way since I started doing it when I was a kid. I mean, I'm 32 now, so I don't know what age I started doing it, but say 5 year old. So in that time space, you look at the old Minitrix locos. I mean, saying that I've got Minitrix locos that still work that were my granddad's. They must be from the possibly 70s or 80s, and they still run. They're crude, but they work. But you look at, I mean, I've got the Revolution 66 just sat on my layout there, and you look at that as a model, and you know, for N gauge, it's absolutely fantastic. Like the detailing is unbelievable. The sound is fantastic. Like it, I think you could probably take close-up photos of it, and you'd struggle to tell the difference between that TT or double O. It's that good now, and it's come such a long way, and it is such a good skill. You can do all sorts, and I know you just said on the podcast before that it does probably lend itself a bit better to modern era. You can run those longer trains. You, you can get more in. Steam era still works though. It's still, it still does lend itself well to that. It's just not my chosen.
Yeah, you're right. It has absolutely like come leaps and bounds since the pool days. I as a kid, my dad built us an N-gauge layout that could go into bed, just because that's the
Yeah,
size that would fit under there. And it was, as you say, much cruder locos, the pizza cutter style wheels, as they called them. Things ran okay, but they weren't that detailed. And as a kid, you're not really that bothered. It's just, as long as you got
oh no,
as long as you got the Flying Scotsman or whatever, you're happy. But as you become older and more into the detail and the wider world of railways, that's the kind of thing that you crave and you want. And Engage has fulfilled that missing part, hasn't it? Really, and it
Absolutely, yeah.
well, I don't know if you notice this, but exhibitions, I see a lot of people are still very snobby to Engage, and I've heard people go, "I'm not looking at that one, it's Engage,"
Yeah,
and yet
yeah.
I've seen some fantastic Engage layouts at
There is,
exhibitions.
there is some brilliant layouts. One of the ones, I mean, a question later on, but this isn't actually me answer the question later on. But one of them pops in my head is Scarlington. It's fantastic. I don't know how long it is. It's massive, but
Hmm.
it's just full of everything. It's brilliant. It's what Engage to me is all about. It's got a nice big station. I think there's a big bridge on it, and there's like little country area on one side, and you just think any other scale, and that'd be a 100-foot layout sort of thing. Whereas this
Yeah,
is, I want to say 30 foot. I could be wrong. It's a good size, don't
it
get me
is a good
wrong,
size layout. Yeah, it's even got a
but
funicular on it, hasn't it?
it has. Yes, you're right. Yeah, it has. Yeah, and it just shows what you can do. Then it is the perfect scale for being in the scenery. It's that railway in the scenery scale. I think it's
Yeah.
probably the key thing.
Well, there we are. No surprises there of what your favourite scale is then, as well being Engage. Uh, so, loco wise, then we obviously we touched on the A4. Is that your favourite loco, or is there a different one?
I've got a confession to make. I'm sorry, Sam. I can't pick. It's between the Revolution 66 or me A4. I mean, um, Mirrorwood Engage is just sound fitted Snigel Grizzly for me, and it's fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. That's like really high up on my list, like really high up. But that Revolution 66 is so good, and it's it's what I model. Both of those are. I like the Class 66 because it's modern, and it's what I see around here as well. So there's a bit of that, and it's such a fantastic model. But Snidel Grizzly just that A4's just got that. I think it's probably got that top spot. I think it probably just pips it, just on that personal sort of touch.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. And
Yeah,
is it? I take it is in the as preserved the rail blue.
it is. Yes, it
Yeah, I
is.
mean
Has to
you
be,
can't
doesn't it?
beat
Yeah.
that livery. That's
I
it's
have got Mallard and Garter blue, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I prefer the dark one. It was always curious to me, back in obviously the days of Steam when British Rails gave the regions a bit more flexibility in what they could paint their locos, and so the Great Western were painting their coaches chocolate and cream, and the Midland were painting theirs red. And I always found it quite odd that the Eastern region never painted their A4s blue again. They just kept them green because I always thought that
Mm,
blue they suit blue a lot better than green, but.
they do. I must admit, I'm not a fan of the green. Not a fan
No.
of the green. But that's just, everyone's everyone's different, aren't
So,
they? Some people don't
yeah.
even like A4s, and that's a bit of a controversy all in itself.
Well, this is very true.
Isn't it, Sam?
Mm, I'm not gonna bite. I'm not gonna bite.
Have you got one for your TT layout yet, Sam?
That sounds like backtracking to me.
See, once again, you're never happy. Even when I say that I like the logo, you're still like, oh, here we go, backtracking again.
This was the problem with the map. We read out loads of northern places the other week, and we were told they weren't allowed on the map because we just read them out loud.
That map has got way out of hand. Can I just say?
You started it. That's all I
I
can
did start
say.
it. I did start it, and at first it was dead easy because I went on my phone and just used a little magic editor, and it took out half the country dead easy. But putting it back in again is an absolute different ball game.
Says you're right. Anyway, back to the important part.
Yeah. What is your favourite loco that you don't own?
Um, this would be a bit of a curveball. An Orgate Class 37.
Yeah, that's a good
I don't
answer.
know.
No, no
It's
explanation needed. We'll move on.
it's we all know why, don't we? I mean, come on. It's the sheer presence of the things, isn't it? Like the and those ones, I can't remember. I don't know which manufacturer it was, or I'm sure I've seen one somewhere that they have like a whopping big sound speaker in them, and they just sound unbelievable. It's like the 37's in the room with you.
Is it like the Hellion
Who
one?
doesn't want it? Might be, yes, it might be,
Yeah.
might be. But who doesn't want that? That's fantastic. I just haven't got space for it. But yeah, that'd be the dream. That'd be the dream.
That's a pretty. Any particular livery?
Large logo blue.
Oh, very
Yeah,
nice.
Large logo blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
It
is a
just
very good shout.
it sits well on them, doesn't it? It's a bit timeless as well, isn't it? You still see them. There's a couple still on the main line, isn't there? So,
Yeah, well, this is true. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it was DRS had the heritage liveries on there with the large logo blue, and you see
yeah.
some of the rail tour services now for the various liveries. The one I really like, and obviously it never carried it in real life, is that the ScotRail livery that they put on one of them. I don't know if you
Yes, I've
saw
not
that.
seen that one.
So it was a DRS logo. I think it was a large logo. I can't top of my head. I can't remember the running number. I want to say 37046, but I could be wrong. Um, but yeah, it was repainted at Eastleigh and came back out in this ScotRail livery. It looked absolutely fantastic. It was a very cool livery. But
Yeah.
yeah, I can see the appeal of wanting a no gauge 37.
That it's like a never never sort of thing, isn't it? I'm probably never gonna get one, but I can wish, I can dream.
That's it, yeah. It's like you say,
We can all dream.
we can all own one. It's just having the space to run them, isn't it?
It'd be going backwards and forwards, and that's all it'd ever do.
That would be a crying shame.
It would. It certainly would.
Right, so class 37, good call. What is your favourite project you've undertaken so far?
So, really enjoyed building Finnborough version 1 because it was a big layout. It was what I've always wanted, sort of thing. It was the start, if you like. It's what kicked it all off recently. But that being said, doing Gorthland for the Pico competition has been so satisfying to build. And I think a lot of it came from the fact that it was based on somewhere real. So because I had photos to look at, I could go and visit the place and take the pictures, get the little details, and it just sort of seemed to make everything click that little bit better than what the big layout Finborough did. And I think it was because I didn't have to second guess what might be where. There was no sort of like, oh well, I don't know where to put this fence, I don't know where to put this sign, because it was all there in front of me. That's where it had to go because that's where it is in real life. And it just yeah. And it's the first proper, probably fine. I say finely detailed. First, probably well detailed thing that I've actually ever done. I mean, the big layout of Finnborough was detailed to a certain extent, but not the extent that Gorthland is, and that was quite satisfying. Putting those little posters on the walls, sticking the little people on, weathering the tracks, all that sort of stuff, just all sort of tied together, and it made it really enjoyable. But I think a lot of it was because it was on a real place, and I had the deadline to work to, which sort of gave us a bit of a boost.
It always helps, doesn't it?
It didn't. It didn't. I mean, we were also trying to move house at the same time, which wasn't really the best time we're doing it, but it worked out. Well, not in Pico's eyes, but no, I'm not bitter, James. Don't worry, I'm not bitter.
Was there a competition, was there? Vaguely remember something about it. I want to drop my certificate now, but obviously no one can see it. Yeah, I found the same. With the Rail 200, it was a really enjoyable process to work with such a small layout. Do you feel that what you've learned by looking at Gothland and picking out the details of where things go, you can now transfer that to Finnborough and with scenery detail on that?
I think so. To be honest, the one that stuck out to me the most, and I probably had the most comments on, was the track weathering. Now, I didn't actually try and weather the track on Finnborough. I just gave it a bit of a passing spray of sleeper grime from an aerosol can, and that was all I did really. But with Gorthland, obviously, because I could go and see where the train stopped, where the oil patches were, where all that 20, 30 foot long black piece was, where the locals stop. Then actually modelling that at the end of the platform, it's definitely something that I'll do again. It's just that little thing that carried over. So little, I think it's with things like that I would never have considered before. Stuff like the signs, the posters, that sort of thing are all well and good, but that weathering just adds that little bit more, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It finished the picture off I think it's what I'm trying to sort of say.
Yeah, no, I know, I totally get what you mean, isn't it? When you look at the real thing and, like you say, you pick out those little details, it's the kind of thing that you wouldn't have noticed before.
Yeah.
Really adds to the scene and it makes it more realistic. It feels more real, and I think yeah, I just totally understand what you're saying. You sort of when you learn these things and start seeing these things, it sort of opens your eyes to that wider world, and I think it makes you a better modeler.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely.
so yeah, no, I totally get what you mean there. So that's, I mean, I think you did a fantastic job in Gothland, and so I'm unfortunate that you weren't picked through as a finalist. And we've
Yeah.
said it on the podcast over the last few weeks. There was loads of fantastic
Oh,
layouts
there was.
that
Some of them
didn't.
were brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. I
Yeah,
mean, especially the time period that we had to do it in, there wasn't that much time really. I mean, it was long enough, clearly, but it was always in the back of your mind thinking, I better get a shift on with this because if I don't, it's going to be something half done.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it was good. I enjoyed doing it. It was at the time as well. I was starting to disassemble the big layout. That was mostly getting packed away. Starting the process of packing it away for the house move and everything. So that was it was on the dining room table goal, and I built it on the dining room table. My wife was very tolerant, um, very tolerant, um, and it was just it came at the right time. I think it just worked out well, and I enjoyed doing it. I just enjoyed the whole process. Got a day out to go and look at Gothland, have a take a couple of pictures, see some trains go past, have a cup of tea on the platform, and that, and it just yeah, the whole thing was nice. It was just a good, satisfying thing to do, you know.
No, that's it. I think you hit the nail on the head there, really. People, when they are modeling, even if it's a fictional location, it really does pay to just go out and do a bit of field work. Like you say, just go to your local station, and if you just stand on the platforms, you have a look around, you'll start spotting things that you didn't even consider needed to go on that layout. So yeah, I think it's a really good shout there.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I probably would say is that Gothland as a whole, being obviously preserved, like in Northeastern Railways days, quite apart from the scenic sort of side of things, like the track weather and stuff, a lot of the rest of it might not necessarily transfer over to the big layout because the big layout's obviously modern image. So some of it will transfer over. Some
Yeah.
of the skills, like they say, like the weather in track. And actually, it was the first time I've made my own seafoam trees, and I've never made trees before. But I've seen, I think it was George Williamson. I'm sure it was, and I sent a message and said, I've got a
Who?
box of seafoam. um, so I've got a box of seafoam. How do you stick the seafoam to the branches? Because I just cannot get it to stick. And he said, get some spray activator. And I'd never even heard of spray activator before for super glue. Yeah, it's an absolute game changer. If you do seafoam trees, you try to roll it and it's not sticking, just give it a quick spray and it's stuck. And it's processes like that as well that I think I've learned that I can move forward with.
I've got to say now, George has changed his tune because I watched his video the other day and he's telling people not to use the activator.
I haven't watched that to be fair, so I think I'm sure it was George. I'm sure it was. I can't think who else it would have been. Oh well,
Yeah.
someone told me.
I use it. I don't know. You might be one to worth trying. Dulux Material Scatter Grip.
Oh, right, okay.
Give that a go. You put it on. You leave it to dry for about 30 minutes. It goes tacky, and then you just dip it into your foliage, and it'll attach to the tree that way. I find that's quite a
Right.
really useful item.
I know in the past I've bought some cheap trees off that well-known online retailer. The sort of trees where you get like 10 for
Tembe.
£5. Oh, sorry.
Tembe.
No, the other one.
Emu.
The popular jungle. Um, um, and they come in the bare plastic, the horrible out the shiny plastic, and they just look a bit cheap and nasty, I suppose. They
Yeah.
work, they're all right, but I had some Hobbycraft spray glue and just gave them a quick spray, dipped it in some scatter, and it just completely transformed them. They're not perfect, don't get me wrong,
Hmm.
but they were 10 times better than what they were before, and the effort was minimal. You know, you just pick up processes like that, don't you, when you're
Yeah.
doing these sort of things, and you learn. You just learn by doing it, don't you?
Well, that's it. Yeah, and as you say, just little simple things like that, just like taking those trees, bit of spray glue, bit of scatter, and they do transform into
Oh,
something that looks
absolutely,
half
yeah,
decent, don't they?
yeah,
So,
absolutely,
well, that's
yeah.
brilliant. But the big question is, with GoFund, did you enjoy it? Did you have fun building that layout?
I did, I did,
And
I, and
that's what it's all about. To all those people that got upset that didn't get picked through, the whole point of it was to have fun building. And I
this is
think,
it, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah. Obviously, I've now took the decision to extend it as well, so it's not as if it's just going to be a little shelf layout sat. You know, it's actually going to be a fully fledged layout of its own. So I've built the extension boards and everything to make it that. So it's going to be a full roundy as much as I
lovely.
sort of you know, it's going to be scenic up sort of thing, the proper fiddly
Yeah.
and everything. So, but it's going to be at our Clubs Engage show next year in May, all being well. And then possibly even at the Downton exhibition later in the year. So I better get a crack on.
Yeah, you better.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, I asked Pico, and they said they have no intention of doing this again next year. So, we'll have to stick with Sam's idea of doing the model rail replacement podcast one. Yeah. We're waiting on Sam to organise that. So.
Been waiting a while.
There we are. Cool. Right. We'll move on to the next question then. What is your next hobby purchase?
Again, I'm sorry, Sam. It's either DCCEX or more track, but it's that time of year, isn't it? Christmas, kids, you know, money's a bit wrong time of year for buying stuff, isn't it? So I'm sort of torn at the moment because I need to upgrade my DCC controller. I've got the old power cab and I'm a bit done with it. So I wanna upgrade, but I need more track. But it's that old do I don't know, isn't it? I think it's
Yeah.
probably the DCCX. The power cab, I've had it for years now, and it's served its purpose. But as soon as I started getting sound fitted locals a couple of years ago, I feel like it's starting to show its its downfalls, especially past I think it's function 9. It starts becoming a bit of a chew to operate it. Um, so if I can move to a tablet-based system. I mean, the worst problem is I haven't remember all the functions. I can't remember what function 18 does. So I'm pressing the button thinking, oh, that's the horn, and it's not. It's making some other random noise. So it's something to sort of simplify my playing trains, I suppose. That's what it's all about.
That's it. I had the exact same experience the other day. I was using a power cab as well, and like you say, it's go beyond function 9, and it's a bit more of a faff to get those sounds. And
Yeah.
I was like, well, hang on, that loco does that sound. We press that button, but that loco does that, and yeah, and I was like, and I was getting the boxes out and trying to find the sheets that come with it to try and there must be a simpler system out there.
The one that gets me is the brakes, because I think most Mizuno ones put the brakes on F2,
Yeah.
but there's one of the other ones, I can't remember which one it is now. I think the brakes on something like F5, and I always get it wrong. I end up pressing F2 on it and it ends up blowing a horn or something. I'm like, no, stop.
It's all right. It's whistling a warning because it can't stop.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The power cab's great for, I think it's great for basically playing trades. You know, if you're
Yeah.
just getting into DCC or whatever, it is a good enough system for that. But I think once you start getting a bit deeper into it, it's I think it's quite an old system now. I mean, I must have had mine for 15 years, um, and it hasn't changed. So technology's come a long way in that time. So I think it's about time I move along with it a little bit as well. I think I'll be looking at the DCCX. Well, I've already made my mind that's what I'm going to go for. It's just when I pull the plug on it, that's all. But
Fair enough. No, I'm satisfied with those answers. I don't know if Sam would be, but we could just quickly move on, and he can't stop us then, can he? So, what is your favourite part of the hobby?
Uh, Plane trains. It, it's it's what we do it for, isn't it? To a certain extent, we are like coming home from work, putting the kids to bed, turn the power on, and just sit and play trains for half an hour. You go into your own little world, don't you? It's a break from reality. And then doing the scenics is close. I mean, I'm laying the track at the moment, and I hate it. That could be one of the downfalls of Engage actually laying the track. Whether I'm just not very good at it, that also could be a possibility. Um, but yeah, I prefer doing the scenics, that sort of side of things. But then I just get bogged down in playing trains. I've got a loop down at the moment, and track lane stalled because I can now run trains. But it's the part you all enjoy, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's it. I get that. It's yeah, you get to sort of one stage and just yeah, they're running. That I do. I'm happy with that. But yeah, the scenic side is definitely I'd say the more fun side. It's,
It's nice to see it coming on when you start doing the scenics. It's nice to see it start to evolve from probably like from a train set sort of image, if you like. The typical Joe Public's view of a train set is just some track on a table, isn't it?
yeah,
And that's pretty much where I'm at now, really. But once you start putting that scatter down, once you start putting a couple of hills in or some buildings, you start making it look a bit more like its own little world. That's when it starts becoming a little bit more alive. And it just changes it changes it from that train set to a model railway, I think. Even if it's not much, it all just helps, doesn't it?
yeah. I think it brings a nostalgic feeling back to you, doesn't it? Of actually seeing trains in the real world by they're now running through your miniature world and sort of taking you back to those sort of things that you enjoy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, one of the things I actually found with the old layout was I enjoyed taking photos of it more than probably anything else actually at the time, because once the scenics were done, I could take photos that looked actually quite decent. And when I first set my Instagram account up, I thought it was more for my own sort of like, to see where I was going with it. So, I could see what I'd done. So I think I'd seen a couple of other people. I can't remember who it was at the time, but probably like people like yourselves have been on, and thought I'll put a few photos of mine on. And you start getting people liking things and commenting on things, say, that looks good, that. And it's like, really? And looks all right, but oh no, it looks really good. You think, okay, so you start taking a few more photos and that, and then you start thinking, well, I'll fit the detailing pack to the front of my logos, and that just takes it another notch. Or you add that little bit of detail into your tracks and stuff, and it goes up that notch again. And that was a sort of a part of the hobby that I never sort of really appreciated, if you like. But trying to make it look a bit more real was quite interesting, actually.
I think that's a wonderful story there because, like you say, it's again, it's going back to that before the days of social media. This hobby used to be something that we, be locked away in our garages or our lofts or our sheds, and no one would see. And now you get to
Oh
share
yeah,
your work with the world. And
yeah,
and we've said it many times on here. Instagram seems to be the best place, community
yes,
wise, for comments. No, you very rarely get someone going, "Yeah, that looks rubbish because you've not put enough rivets on the tender," and it's just like people just go, "Oh, that's wonderful. You've done a great job."
yeah, they
Uh,
do.
and that's the whole point of sharing it is the positivity. And if
It
someone does
is.
have a comment, where they've seen something that doesn't look right, it's never that rivet counter approach of listen here, you, that's wrong. It's a case of, oh, by the way, that looks really cool, but did you know that this actually does this?
Yeah,
Oh, and it's a shame it doesn't spread through to the other social media worlds, doesn't it?
it is. I've had quite a few on that other because I share my stuff on Instagram and it cross posts over to Facebook, and I do keep an eye on Facebook. I do use it. But I mean, I put videos on before of me A4s. Now A4s are fast locals, we all know that. And people put comments on saying it's going too fast. It's like it's not. It's doing a scale 70 mile an hour. That is not too fast. Like what you want about? Why are you even commenting? Just
What
but
would be too fast for an A4?
130.
I mean,
But yeah,
I've read articles of drivers making wild wild claims of exceeding the said world record speed limit with an A4. If they're true or not, I don't know. But I think one alleged that if it hit 156 and the cab was swaying from side to side, they could barely stand up in it. But so who knows? But there we are. But yeah, that's lovely, and it's wonderful to see that your favourite part hobby is to just enjoy the hobby for what it's meant to be, which is running the
It
train,
is, isn't it?
building the scenery.
Yeah, it's what I've always done, from a kid. It just used to get the board out, shut a train on, put it around, stop it in the station. It was just it's what you enjoy doing, isn't it? So
Well, that's it. That's it. That's what it's all
still,
about.
still there was a just can be an adult, but you're still a kid at heart, aren't you?
You're still a child at heart.
Absolutely.
So I think Sam needs to rephrase this question really, because we always or select his guests more wisely, because we always say if you were to create a new layout, but everyone we've had on recently are creating new layouts. So what is the one thing that you'd need on your layout?
So obviously, I said earlier, my layout's based on the East Coast Main Line, which that's my localist, is that the word? Nearest main line, I'll say. And down Thirsk sort of way, they have the four track main line that's I don't think it's quite straight or pretty much near enough straight. It's
Yeah.
literally like a racetrack. It's 125 mph the whole way along. I would love to just have an open countryside with four tracks and just like GNR sets or 225s, HSTs, whatever, just belting through. That'd be fantastic if I had the space. But yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Just
that
to
sounds
just, just because that goes back to the last question. I just enjoy playing the trains, watching the trains running, and that'd be I could just set them off, watch them go around. I can do something else at the same time.
I think you're a man after Sam's own heart there, because that's exactly the kind of thing he enjoys as well, just the running of the trains and sort of seeing them just fly by.
It's quite
And
therapeutic in a
Mm.
in a weird sort of way. If I'm working on the layout, I'll quite often set a train going round, leave it going round while I go and do some scenics or something, or carry on with something else.
Yeah, you
yeah,
you don't even need to have like every single line running. I think that's one of the best parts of it is that say for example, if you're working on four tracks, then you only need to run two trains and you can work on the other two lines or vice if you've got two
Yeah, yeah,
lines. I think that's what's so nice about just being able to run trains and have them going round. I think that having done it recently, working on a few little bits whilst bits are going round, it's just nice. It's just good to do. Or even if the amount of times where I've just set trains running and then I just sort of sit back, I'm sure you do the same thing. Like you just end
yeah,
up relaxing via the trains going round. And half the time, I don't put the sound on. Occasionally, I might give it a little toot of the horn, but I'm the perfect person for the NT power cap because I will start the engine up, play the horn, and that's it. I'm not that fussed about all the in-depth little bits and bobs, and that's not saying that it's wrong. It's more that I'm just a very simple person at heart.
I was just saying that's what you enjoy, though, isn't it? If that's what you take away from the hobby, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Sam's little driver and fireman don't get to fry their breakfast.
We're blokes, we starving.
Cool. Right. I'm going to ask you, what is the one hobby item you'd encourage everyone to buy?
Agrax Earthshade from, is it Citadel? Citadel Paints? The Warhammer?
Yes.
Warhammer
That's the
ones?
one, yeah.
Yeah, Agrax Earthshade. I think I saw it on a forum somewhere. I was looking, it must have been, it was early this year or back into last year. I bought the Dapple Teak coaches, and they came with a Mallard set that I bought. The lovely coaches, but the teak just didn't look quite right. I wasn't quite happy with them. I'd done a bit of Googling as you do, and someone, I think they'd used them on a Hornby double O coach. They suggested this Aglax Earthshade, and I thought, give it a try. And it did absolute wonders to the teaks. Like, slapped it on, and they look brilliant. Like, for very minimal effort as well. I was expecting to have to like do all sorts, put little streaks in and everything, and go to a lot of effort to try and make them look just a little bit nicer. But literally just put the bush and slapped it on, and it changed them. And since then, I've used it on all sorts. I think Gotham's practically held up with the stuff. Um, I mean, the station buildings on Gothland, I painted them like the right sort of colours. I think I put 6 coats of different paint on, couldn't quite get the right colour shade and everything. I wasn't quite happy with it. Cracked up the Agrax Earth shade, give it a wash with that, and bingo. I think every building on Gothland had a coat of that at some point, all the roofs and everything. The tracks had a bit of weathering with it. The water that I put on Gothland, that got a bit of a coat of it just to sort of take the shine off the water a little bit, make it look a bit more like murky water. It it's been one of those things that, when it takes you by surprise how versatile something is. Yeah, it it really surprised me. And when I was thinking about this question, it's the only thing that sort of popped in my head, and I thought, everyone's got screwdrivers, everyone's got, a multimeter of some description or some tools, some generic tools, but that I've said I would recommend. One of my friends actually, he's just borrowed my pot of it for his Japanese layout, and he's just used it to weather some concrete wall sections, and he's like, it's fantastic, it's brilliant. You just, obviously it's a liquid, but yeah, I couldn't get over how versatile it was. But I never would have picked it if I hadn't have Googled it, because I'd never would have looked at Citadel Paints things before. It's just not a connection that I would have made to. I mean, Agrax Earthshade, what is it? You know what I mean? You wouldn't walk into a shop and think, "Oh, I'll have some of that."
Yeah, yeah, no, I know what you mean. I've used them for figure painting, but because they're designed for figure painting, but yeah, I've never considered expanding beyond that with that particular brand of paints. So that sounds pretty cool, especially with the use of the teak coaches. Because yeah, trying to get teak to look right can be quite the challenge.
Yeah, it was a big surprise, that one. It was one of those where, you're a bit, am I going to ruin like a £35 coach here? But I actually want to buy some more coaches now just to do it, because I
Um,
can have a full rake then.
I remember Steve from Neville Grove was the first person I saw who suggested it because they used it on. Do you remember the Mallard A4 train set by Hornby? And he said, look, if you just give it a coat of this over the top of the coaches, it suddenly changes it and makes them look more realistic. And I remember people shock as these cheap coaches that you can pick up for like a fiver, tenner second hand, you suddenly make them look like decent coaches, and it transforms them. So yeah, I'm big big advocate of the Citadel paints anyway, because I think that some of the best stuff that is out there is the Citadel stuff. But it's it's nice for someone who's not coming from a wargaming background to come in and still be sort of praising it as a paint as well.
I must admit, I'm converted to them. I mean, all the buildings on Gothland, everything, all of that was painted. I think the only thing I didn't use Citadel for was the red. I can't which I can't, what did I use for that now? It wasn't Citadel. It was some of the manufacturer. But I mean, the creamy white that's on the waiting room at Gothland,
Mm-hmm.
that was, it's something like crushed skull candy or something like that.
Screaming
Um,
Skull. I'm just going to
Screaming,
be
so that might be it.
I'm
That
just
might
going
be
to
it.
start screaming Warhammer paint names at you now.
But there
I'm
was
sure
another one that I
Farrow
used.
and Ball will pick these colours up at some point with those names.
There was another one that I used as well for the brickwork on the stone building, on the main station building. There was another variation of some obscure name. That again, you never look at it as granite, brick, grey or whatever.
No.
It was, but I was literally stood in boys looking through these big massive shelves full of this paint, trying to eyeball sort of match this paint color. It was just like, I don't know what I'm going to get here, but picked them up and they're brilliant, absolutely
Mm.
fantastic. But I bet most modelers would never even consider them, because it's different aspect, isn't it, of a modeling?
People don't like to cross the streams. That's basically it,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
So there we are. Shout out for some Citadel paints. What was the colour again? Something Earth.
Agrax Earthshade.
Agrax Earth shade.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna have a look for that next time I'm near a Games Workshop or a Warhammer. I don't know what they call themselves these days. They're always rebranding. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough. Games Workshop Warhammer talk. I got told off when I was at the NEC by someone who weren't happy about us rambling on about non-railway things. So there we are. We'll try and keep it railway, people. We'll try and keep it railway. Uh, Talking of exhibitions, do you have a favourite one yourself?
I do. Years ago, I said Doncaster because when I was little, we always used to go there with my granddad and my dad and my uncle, whatever. Make a big day out of it, sort of thing. It was a big show, it, the biggest in the north, pretty much. Probably at the time, probably still is. Um, it was good. It was a big, typical big show. But a couple of years ago, once I got back into the hobby a bit again, I joined the Engage Society for a start, and then I found that they had local area groups. Um, and then I found that our local area group, the Northeast area of the Engage Society, had a club's annual exhibition. I think it must have been May a couple of years ago now, or April, maybe in April, sorry. And I went up, took my daughter up, sort of thinking, I'll go and have a look, see what it's like. It was only a 1 day show. Didn't expect it to be much really, but it was brilliant. It was purely engaged, obviously, as you'd expect from an engaged club.
Hmm.
But the guys were all really canny. The layouts were really, for a little club. I mean, the drafted in layouts from people that weren't in the club, but it was just a pure engaged show. But the layouts were all brilliant. Um, I actually ended up joining that area group club from that show because I think I spent probably about half an hour chatting to like a couple of the guys, and you should come down, come and come and see us. And I said, well, I'm busy, at work, family, I'm on call every couple of weeks, sort of thing. So, being in the club doesn't really quite fit, sort of thing. That show probably sort of sparked another side of the hobby, and I went again last year, obviously because I was as a member of the club, and it was brilliant again. It's just a nice, friendly little local show that's a good quality layouts, and it's just a nice place to be. There's no one's pushing past you, no one's barging through to get to the sales stands or the bargains stands, or you can spend as long as looking at the layout as you want. You can talk to people because it's not overly noisy. It was a good vibe, if you know what I mean. It was just something different. And I say that I now try and our club meets every 2 weeks or something like that on a Sunday. I don't go all the time, but I go as much as I sort of can really. And that was like the catalyst for going to the club. And I never thought I'd go to a club. I don't know, it just didn't really seem like something that I'd be sort of interested in. But I actually really enjoy it. So it all sort of links a bit. Um, yeah, it's a bit unexpected. I do enjoy the big shows still. Went to Doncaster this year and it was brilliant. There's some fantastic layouts. Obviously, you get the advantage of all the other scales and everything, don't you? And the big trade stands and everything and all that. But there was just something about a little local show like that it was you felt more like you were talking to people rather than just being part of a mass event. It felt more personal, and that was a nice touch.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Sometimes the smaller shows can surprise you with how good they are sometimes, and I think that's wonderful that you found one that you really enjoyed. With that, is there a favourite layout that you have? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be at a show, but obviously we say it could be something you saw in a magazine or someone you watch on YouTube or Instagram, something like that. Is there anything in mind that you particularly enjoy?
There is, there's so many. There's so many. It's such it's a difficult question, isn't it? Because we all look everywhere for just different inspirations, don't we? We take inspiration from all over the place, really. But the one that really sort of sticks in my head at the moment, I actually saw at Doncaster this year. It was Eli Woods. It's an Engage layout. I'm not sure on the size. It's quite big, but I could be wrong. I think it's just a two-track mainline sort of setting through some like lovely sort of countryside sort of scenery, and it is just stunning. It Going back to that whole engage thing I was saying earlier about engaging in the countryside and the scenery, that layout is like exactly what I'm on about with that what engage is good at. It it just looks fantastic. It's quite bright, it's quite vibrant, and it just looks superb. It's yeah. There's a there's a couple of others that come close. New Baden Parkway, I've seen that one. That's again brilliant. Um, there's a couple that I've seen online that I'd love to see in the flesh, like York in Engage. Surprise, surprise, Engage again. Um, but I've not seen that one in the flesh. But yeah, that Eli Woods is ranks very highly for me. That one, very highly.
Very cool. I'm trying to think if I've seen that one. I know the York one. You mean the well, it's the station concourse, and you're just watching the trains run through.
Yeah, it's all like A4s, and I
Yeah.
think one of the ones that sticks me. I think there was I think you had a silver like a silver link sort of style A4, and it just looked pretty fantastic. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I'm afraid it mostly just travels around the south because I've seen it at a number of shows around here. But it is an absolutely gorgeous layout and an incredible build of York Station, and yeah, it is wonderful to watch. Just yeah, the streamlined trains running round into the platforms. But I'll
yeah.
have to look the other one up and see what an incredible layout it is. So
I I feel a bit bad that I've only picked engage layouts out there. There's I do look at other layouts, other scales. I'm not a scale snob, but I think when you're building a certain scale, you do sort of focus on what you can relate to, don't you?
well, that's very true, but at the end of the day, the question is what is your personal
Oh
preference and
yeah,
what is your
yeah.
favorite layout? So, if you enjoy watching other people's engage, then we won't judge you here.
I tell you what, for YouTube, and I will say, Hilton from Papa Chuffed, that is fantastic. That is absolutely stunning. It's yeah, that is a fantastic layout. It's just a shame he lives so far away.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is a wonderful layout that Hilton's been
Yeah.
working on, and it's mostly down to his sister paying that back scene. I'd say she's done all the legwork. But yeah, I look forward to seeing what he's going to do when he moves house, and obviously he's got plans for know, building parts and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
look forward to seeing that. Right, I think we only have the one question left to ask you, which is what is your favorite resource?
So probably going back to again what I said a bit earlier, Instagram. It it's the one that took me by surprise the most. Like I said before, I didn't expect to sort of get anything from it. I thought I'd put a few photos on, share a couple of videos. I do put stuff on YouTube as well, but I find YouTube difficult to watch. Sometimes I haven't got the time. Maybe sit around and watch a half an hour video. But Instagram's good for that quick sort of inspiration. If you like, you can have a quick scroll through, and you can get a lot from it. And it's the social side of it as well. I've I've actually made quite a few good friends from Instagram. When we went to the International Engage show a few months ago, there's a couple of us from Instagram met up. There was myself, Noah Wood, um, James from Redhampton, Ryan from the Engage Shed, and Nat from uh, Austin Valley Model Railway. We all met up. Barely even knew each other really when we all met up. But we've got our own little group chat now on Instagram, and it's just we have a good laugh. We'll send each other videos, pictures, whatever, and it all sort of slots in quite nicely. It really took me by surprise, and it's yeah, YouTube's good for certain things, definitely good for certain things, but I think that community side of it on Instagrams is
Yeah.
it is sort of a resource, isn't it? In a roundabout sort of way, I
Well, yeah, no,
suppose.
I think you're absolutely right. There. I mean, what you said is, obviously you've used it, you've made friends through it, and as we know, when you start making modelling friends, we all have different skill sets, and then you usually find someone that you can turn to and ask a question and get an answer, or they can help you out with something. So yeah, I think it's an absolutely great resource. And as you say, it is brilliant for community.
And it's people that you wouldn't normally meet either. I mean, manufacturers or I've had chats with guys from Revolution or Tom from Buggles Kelly. I saw him at Doncaster earlier this year, and I'd never gone and said hello to like Tom because it's a shop sort of thing. But you see people online, and you feel a bit more like, oh, I can go and say hello. And you know who people are, and it makes a lonely hobby a little bit less lonely in a nice sort of way.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. I know exactly what you mean. But I think that's a nice sentiment to end this on. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, Steve. It was wonderful to have someone from the north on.
It's about time.
And an Engage modeler at that. We're ticking all the boxes here for our diversity and inclusion.
Double in one night. It's going well.
But
Speaking
yeah,
of
no,
things from the north, I believe we sent you guys some little things a couple of months ago, didn't we?
a couple of little presents.
Yes,
I think you got the pictures muddled up though. You seem to have given me the Flying Scotsman and Sam and A4.
Well, you see,
I don't think you were listening properly.
Oh no, I
Oh,
think
we
they
were
were
listening,
listening
Jay.
just fine.
Sam's was a tough one. He was either going to get an A4 or a DP1.
Grateful
But
that I got
but
an A4.
we thought you would be. But James, you were difficult because we couldn't. We were racking out. When I say we, it was us for Telford, East Glaston, and Bentham Branch Line. We were racking our brains thinking, what could we get them as like a bit of a we we all listen to the podcast every week. We all really enjoy it, and a bit of a laugh, isn't it? So a bit of a thank you, but a bit of a laugh as well. And Sam was dead easy. I'm sorry, Sam, but you were so easy to pick for,
Not the
mate.
first, not the last time I will hear that in my life.
But James, we were just like, I don't think James has ever said that he dislikes a loco. Like and the only thing we could think of was you said that you didn't like when Flying Scotsman comes through because it causes absolute nightmare with all the publicity and everything and all the signalling and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
So that's why
I'm
you've got
not.
Scotsman, James.
I'm not a fan of Flying Scotsman. I think it's a rather overrated locomotive.
Well, that's why it's not on your wall, I hope.
Well, thank you very much anyway.
To clarify, I think the fact that you put nice messages on the pictures of the stuff we don't like definitely obviously made it a little bit easier. Like, don't get me wrong, I've got it sat behind me on a shelf, and I would never have thought that I'd put Mallard or an A4 sat up behind me, but because you guys put such lovely messages on there, it does have a little pride of place on there. So yeah,
It's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to go in the bin or on your wall. So. I'm glad it's on your wall.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll admit, mine's in the garage somewhere. But that's what I can say about most things in here right now. So I'm lucky I found a microphone. So.
But yeah, I think it's just there's a lot of us that listen to the podcast weekly, obviously, and it's the Model Rail Replacement podcast. I listen to it while I'm driving for work, and it's nice to have something to listen to and relate to. So we enjoy it. Thank you guys. Thank you for providing it.
Yeah, thank you for listening, and say, and even for coming on and talking to us about your road. That's what it's all about. It's trying to build a community and for us all to get along.
Yeah, definitely helps.
Excellent stuff, Steve. Thank you very much for coming on. It's been
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem, not at all. Right then, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll do the old exhibition diary. Although this time of year can't be much.
You there? Oh, me? Do you like model railways? Yes, that's why I'm listening to the Model Rail Replacement podcast. Do you like comedy? No, that's why I'm listening to the Model Rail Replacement podcast. If you like model railways and comedy, head over to BugglesKellyStation.com. From Dad's Army to Will Hay, Laurel and Hardy to the island of Sodor. Add a comedy cameo to your model railway today. All right, thanks. Buggles Kelly Station. You won't be wasting your time.
Right, we're back then. That was a lovely chat with Steve, wasn't it?
It was. It was very nice to get to know him a little bit better, and nice to finally tick off an actual N-Gauge modeler on the show.
It was indeed. Right, shall we get the exhibition diary open?
Yeah. Have you got a difficult week this week?
Absolutely, the very first date I look at.
Did Cymru Wales lie to you?
Well, it may be just a small exhibition because he said it was the last of the large Welsh exhibitions. It's at the Abergele Model Railway exhibition of the Cowen Model Railway Club. That's not the hard part. The next bit is for the 6th of December. Then the Cowen Model Railway Club, Abergele. I just said it.
Abergavenny?
You heard it. You heard me say it. Sam can cut it out and copy and paste it in. What a Railway exhibition at the. I'm not even going to try and pronounce this. I put the word hens in it. Year hen YSGOL. I don't even know what that's not a word, people. The old school. Maybe that's what it means. That makes sense now. Year hen is school. There we are. But that word. I didn't mean to sound Russian, but. There we go. I love Wales, apart from the language.
I love Wales.
Teach me your meanings. I don't understand. So yeah, no apologies. Yeah, the Cowen Model Railway Clubs.
I can't believe we're going back to it.
Abergele Model Railway Exhibition at the Old School, Market Street, Abergele, Cowen. Sam. You're going to be so happy. It's been a while. But Crawley, the Signal Box Preservation Society is having an open day on the 6th of December. Yes, if you want a little Christmas treat, then hobble down to Crawley Signal Box at the High Street in Crawley, West Sussex. I'm wondering if it's in here. I don't think it is. No, he is in here. Excellent. We'll get to him. Hillingdon Railway Modellers of the Hillingdon Test Track Open Day. It's at the Useley Baptist Church Hall in 74 Column Avenue in Useley, Hillingdon, Greater London. Tram Fabric. Why do people do this to me?
Tram Fabric.
Rattery Little Train Show 2025. Rattery Village Hall Centre of Rattery, Devon. The place I've never heard of. Kempston. I know this place because I grew up there. Kempston District Model Railway Society charity event. Wouldn't be wonderful. I pronounced that one wrong. Sir Malcolm Stewart Memorial Hall in the Crescent, Stewartby, Bedfordshire. Rail Stuff then. That's our friend Adam at Rail Stuff. He's having an open day at the Stramshall Village Hall, Vicarage Drive in Uttoxeter, Staffordshire. And including some of his guests will be our friend Tom from Buggles Kelly and our friend Lucy from Loading Gauge, who's stolen your job as a weatherer, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've opened a wound there, haven't I? So there we are. Right. Saturday the 6th then, Gauge O Guild, the Gauge O Guild Winter Show at the Robin Park Leisure Centre in Lorry Drive in Wigan, Lancashire. 6th and 7th, Blackburn and East Lancashire Model Railway Society Christmas Exhibition at the Oswald... Oh my... Come on, that one's in England. Oswald Twistle... This is what it says. Oswald Twistle Mills Business Centre. I think I got that right. Clifton Mill, Pickup Street, off Moscow Mill Street. Oswald Thistle, Lancashire. Apologies if I've got that wrong. To be honest, I think you people are just picking these places, knowing that I will read them out. This one's for 3 days. It's Saturday the 6th to Monday the 8th. Famous Trains Model Railway. Christmas special. Famous Trains Model Railway building at Marketing Park in Derby, Derbyshire. Sunday the 7th, Gainsborough Model Railway Society is having an open day at the Gainsborough Model Railway, Florence Terrace in Gainsborough, Lincolnshire. And that is all for this up-and-coming weekend in all the many, many places I cannot pronounce. Right then, Sam. That'll do us for the exhibition diary. Shall we close this show out?
Yes, let's.
And how do people find you?
If you want to get hold of me, you can find me on Instagram at Emperors_Path. You can find me on Facebook at Emperors Path, and you can find me on YouTube at Emperors Path. James, how can they get hold of you?
Well, I am Western Sigerman on YouTube and on Instagram. And don't forget that the Model Rail Replacement podcast is on Instagram. Although Sam's locked out of the account at the moment, and I am not very good at looking after it. So, yeah, you may find it a bit unresponsive. Sorry. But you can also email us. It's modelrailrp@outlook.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. And obviously, you're listening to a podcast, so you can find us on Spotify and anywhere else like that. That's all for this week. Next week, I think maybe a discussion topic. And then I saw the week after is Sam. So I'll warn you now. Fight Club's coming back.
What?
Yeah. Christmas special Fight Club. You better start doing some shopping.
I've got so much homework already that I'm doing. I can't do anymore.
You agreed to this 6 months ago and was excited about the idea.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And on that note, all I can say is that hopefully we have been entertaining, informative, and have replaced your model railway, if only just for a little bit. I've been James, and with me has been Sam. And maybe the last time he'll be with me, I do believe he's having a heart attack. Thanks for listening.
This service terminates here. Please ensure you take all of your personal belongings with you.
Hello, listeners. We've got some very exciting news. Do you want to be part of the podcast? Do you want to join the team? Well, an exciting opportunity has come up to allow you to be part of the Model Rail Replacement podcast. And here's Sam with the details.
This episode is brought to you by Patreon. A huge thank you to our Patreons for their support. If you'd like to help support the show, you can head over to Patreon and search Model Rail Replacement Podcast, where you can show your support and be part of the team.
Hurry, there's unlimited places.